Hey everybody, Tim here for F9, the 9th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise, 10 if you include Hobbs and Shaw, which, I mean, they kind of make reference to. I'll do, just my initial opinion, just out of the theater, and then I will let you know some of the spoilers that I loved later on, but I'll give you a warning first. So, the spoiler-free version is I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It was so over the top. It was so science fiction that it was mind-blowing. Which is funny, because I've talked to other people, and me being the nerd that I am, I'm always I love these movies. And people are friends of mine who actually race cars and stuff are like, what? You do? Why? And I was like, have you seen them? And they're like, no, I don't really care. And I was like, dude, they're not about just racing cars. These movies are science fiction. They are closer to Star Trek or something like that than anything. If you've seen the other movies, going from building to building, taking out submarines, climbing up walls, it's ridiculous. But overall, the 20th anniversary, the 10th movie, the 20th anniversary, it is amazing. They really did not hold back. They really just gave it its all. To me, I would say this is the best movie since the 7th. The 8th, to me, dipped a little bit, but the 7th movie was really solid. So, I had a lot of fun with it. So, that's the spoiler-free version. Spoiler version. Like I said, pulling out all the stops, we get Sean back, we get Twinkie back, and of course Han's back, which they ruined in the trailer. I don't even know why they ruined that in the trailer. And so to see those three again, it was like a Tokyo Drift reunion, and it was beautiful. It was really, really well done. So I liked that. And then the whole, time just confuses the fuck out of me, which I mentioned that, I think, in the 7th or 8th video, where, baby Brian, okay, so Dom had him with the cop, and then when he thought Letty was dead, so that would have been what, the 4th movie, and he's still a baby in the 8th movie. So it's wait, so has only less than a year passed between 4 and 8? Because then look at how old baby Jack is when we see him in the 7th movie, and then when we get to this movie, that kid's 5 or something. And so I was like, so how long has it been since the 7th movie? The time frame doesn't quite add up for me. So that bothered me a little bit. Seeing Cypher was great, but I don't like the makeover she did. I love Charlize Theron in Old Guard, which the Netflix movie from a couple years ago. And she looked a lot more like that. Whereas Cypher had such a distinctive look that it was amazing. And I didn't like the makeover. This looked more like Old Guard. And I was like, whatever. Like I said, it was so over the top. The two scenes that really stood out to me the most for being over the top was, one's pretty obvious, the going into space. Like I said, more science fiction than anything. And then the second, of course, when Dom wraps the cable around the rear tire and swings around, which again, it's in the trailer. Both of those scenes are in the trailer. And it's that would never happen, ever. So I was like, whatever. So, Queenie Returns, which I love that. Helen Mirren was great. And she makes reference to both of her sons, but she doesn't make reference to her daughter, which I thought was interesting. It was if you haven't seen Hobbs or Shaw, or Hobbs and Shaw, you won't get that one. So I was like, okay. But it was just kind of weird. I'm surprised she didn't say, my sons or my daughter. Even if Vin Diesel would have been you have a daughter? Oh, never mind. And just kept moving. I know almost nothing about John Cena, because I don't watch wrestling. I don't even know what that actually means. I just see people do that. And so I was a little skeptical at first of his whole appearance, because I know he is a wrestler and stuff, and that seems to be the trend. But I was like, he actually didn't do too bad. It was a little bit warm and fuzzy, but he didn't do too bad. I hated the flashbacks. You could have cut all the flashbacks out and just had Dom and Letty, talk to each other with a story, and it would have been just as good, and it would have cut a half hour out of this movie. Which the entire time, I was doing, live tweeting, because I was the only one in the fucking theater. And, every, 10 tweets, I was like, I really gotta pee. This movie has to finish, wrap it up quick. And so, and even then, the flashback makes no sense, because, I mean, they're supposed to be, young 20s, or late teens, early 20s, and the John Cena character is right here, and Vin Diesel's character is right here, and then when they're adults, it's more right here, and it's like, he did not hit a growth spurt. Like, that's not a thing. So, I don't know. That was a little disappointing. And then the whole subplot of like, oh, he killed his dad, and like, no, yeah, it was too neat. It was too nice for me. I didn't like it. The one thing I would have changed, like the writer part of me, was when when John Cena's character, when Jacob was like, yeah, like, Dad wanted me to do it, and blah blah blah. And Vin Diesel, like, I was like, because I always think the worst of everybody. I was like, oh, so he's just making that up to make Dom question everything. It would have been so great if he had just looked at Mia and would have been like, you knew this. And Mia would have been like, yeah, I have known the whole time. Like, that would have been great. I would have been so happy. But whatever. So like I said, cut that out. I love the Tokyo Drift parts. It's so hard when I don't like write notes because I'm just like freeballing it. Overall, I did really enjoy it. It was great to see Mia come back. The whole Brian thing was so touch and go. And I was like, really? Like, Brian's the one? I could almost see it where she's like, no, this is my brother and I'm going to do this, and makes Brian stay at home. But then when you see Brian's car pull up at the end, I was like, fuck, what are they going to do? Because you know they want to do another one. They want to have like a neat little, here's our 10 movies, not counting Hobbs and Shaw, because fuck that. But are they going to CGI him? Are they going to like blow up his car at the last second? Like, what are they going to do? And I was like, okay. And that's the other thing. With the flashbacks, even if it was terrible CGI, if it had been a CGI'd like Vin Diesel and John Cena, I would have liked it more than the actors that they got. No offense to the actors. Like, they did the best they could. But, like, I would have been happier with CG people than the people we got. Overall, yeah, like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, if you're skeptical of seeing it, for one, everything's spoiled for you, so that's over. But I would definitely recommend seeing it. So, curious what those who did see it thought of it. Go ahead, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Real quick, I knew I forgot something. The post-credit scene where you see, who is it? Shaw, Jason Statham. I was like, oh, look at that. Like, that was pretty bitchin'. And then, of course, Han showing up at the end, like, you fucking tried to kill me. Which I did not like Han's resurrection with Mr. Nobody. That bugged the shit out of me. I was like, that's too cliche. You could have done better than that. But I love, like, are they going to do a Hobbs and Shaw 2? Are they going to do Han and Shaw 2? Hobbs and Han and I can't even say that. Hobbs, Han, and Shaw 2? What is it? So that'll be kind of interesting. Everybody looks so much older in this movie than they did, like, 3 years ago. So that was kind of funny. But I liked seeing Shaw at the end. That was kind of fun. And there's no closure for Mr. Nobody. So hopefully the next movie is all about, like, where did Kurt Russell go? Where's Scott Eastwood? Where's Little Nobody? So overall, definitely more questions than answers. So what did you guys think? Thank you guys, and I will see you next time.